Hey guys, this is my video about my interview at Hollister, and I actually interviewed about 7.5 months ago, so I don't remember any of the questions except for like one or two of them. So I actually made a video beforehand, just like a really quick ugly video for myself, not that I was ever going to post, just so that I would remember the questions. And so I had to go back and watch that, and I wrote them all down on my nice little index cards, and I wrote them in Sharpie, so they smell like Sharpie. Ugh. And then I also have like a bajillion sticky notes here with a bunch of like things that I was supposed to tell you guys. So if you see me going like this all the time, it's because I'm reading my sticky notes on my laptop. So first of all, my interview, I think it was like the day before my birthday, or my birthday, I'm pretty sure it was the day. Maybe it was the day after my birthday. That might have been it. Anyways, I was really nervous to interview. I get nervous before interviews or big things like that because they are just like exciting things, and so I'm just nervous that it's not going to go the way I want it to, but they usually don't end up too badly, so that's cool. If you're looking to apply, you do have to go into the store. And you can either apply right there. They have a computer on the side of the register that you can apply at, and all you really need is like your social security number and like what hours you can work, and that's basically all you need to bring along with you. Or you can go in and ask them and be like, hi, I'd really like to apply here, and they will give you a card with a website and the password for the website to apply online. So there's a part on the online application where it asks you if you've been approached by a manager. And this doesn't really affect your chances of being hired. I mean, I guess it does a little bit if they asked you to apply, but they're not going to be like, oh, you weren't asked, we're not hiring you. Like, that's not how it works. So don't be like discouraged if you weren't asked to apply. They will still give you a fair chance. The interviews are on Tuesdays and Fridays, and they're at 4, and then I think there's like another one 20 minutes after or so, and they're group interviews, so a bunch of people get together, and then you get asked questions, and then you just like talk about answers and stuff. Woo! My interview was not a group interview, so let me tell you that story. I got there about 15 minutes early, maybe like 12 or something, I don't know, something like that, because I'd rather be early than be worrying about if I'm going to be late or not, because I don't want to be more stressed out than I already am on the day of an interview. So I got there early, and I went up to the register, and I was like, hey, I'm here for the interview, like, what do I do? And they're like, oh, hi, like, you know, just take a seat in the lounge, and then the manager will be out whenever it's time for you to interview. And I was like, okay, cool, sounds good. So I'm sitting there, and I'm, like, waiting, and I'm chilling out, and I'm, like, rocking along to this music that's, like, overwhelmingly loud, and it's still overwhelmingly loud 7 months later. And I watched a bunch of videos beforehand on what to wear and what the questions were and what to expect when I go to the interview because I really wanted to be prepared. And I'm waiting for other people to come because, like, one big tip that somebody posted on a video was, like, when other people get there, be really social and, like, talk to them and, like, get to know them and stuff, just so that when the manager comes out, he sees that you get along well with other people. So I'm waiting, and I'm, like, prepared to, like, make friends and stuff, and then no one shows up. And I was like, okay, I'm lonely. That's cool. And, sorry. So, this is my sticky note for this portion. He came out and was like, hi, are you here for the interview? And I was like, yeah, I am. And he's like, okay, cool, is it just you? And I was like, I think so, since there's no one else sitting here. And so I signed in on a piece of paper, and then I think he went to the back to, like, write down that I was here on time or something because it is a scheduled interview. And then we went out to the food court, and we sat down there, and then he was like, okay, so since it's just you and me, instead of having a group interview, what we're going to do is I'm just going to ask you the questions, and then, you know, you take your time and answer them like how you want to. And I was like, okay, sounds good. So it was pretty relaxed. Actually, I was kind of nervous beforehand, and then once we started talking, he was just really, like, nice, and it really, like, calmed me down. And so it was more like we were having a conversation about the questions instead of just him asking them to me and me responding back at him instead of talking to him. So, he said to take my time to answer the questions, but since I watched the videos beforehand on what the questions are going to be, I kind of already knew my answers, so I didn't really need to, like, sit there and think about them. I didn't just, like, spit out answers at him, but I had what I was going to say prepared. These are my nice little flashcards about the questions, and let's get started with them. Question number 1 was, how would your friends and family describe you? And my answer was that my friends and family would describe me as easy to get along with, and I know how to have a good time, but at the same time, I know when to be serious about things. And he was like, okay. So he's marking down things on his notepad, and I was pretty sure he was just writing down, like, parts of my answers so that he could remember it later on when he was deciding whether or not he wanted to hire me. So he was just like, I'm just going to write things down, you know, just keep talking. And I was like, okay, cool. So that was the first question. And then my second question was, why do you want to work at Hollister? And I was like, well, you asked me to apply. No, I'm just kidding. I really didn't say that. Like, oh man, my interview probably would have been over, like, right then if I said that. Actually, what I said was that the people who work there seem to be really friendly when you walk in, and, like, they all seem really, like, warm and inviting and down to earth, and I feel that I would just make a really good addition to that team because everybody seems awesome, and, like, why wouldn't I want to work in a place where everybody seems like they all want to be your friend? That sounds like a good place to work to me. So he was like, okay, so he's writing parts down. I was like, okay, this is going pretty well so far. Like, I'm less and less nervous with each question. Then my question number 3 was, what is one of your best qualities? And I was like, my best quality is definitely that I'm social. I love to talk to people, and I like to make lots and lots of friends, so, you know, that, like, kind of helps in a job situation where you're working with people your age. Question number 4 was, what do you think of when you think of Hollister, and what words come to mind to describe the brand? And I said, well, when I think of Hollister, I think of beachy, because it's supposed to be like SoCal, so, you know, it's like on the water, sun, sand, surf, beach, you know? But I also think that the brand is very classic. Like, I was wearing a V-neck sweater that I had bought from them, like, a week before or something, and, like, seriously, what is more classic than a V-neck sweater? Nothing. Like, almost nothing. It's classic. And he was, like, writing this down, he's like, oh yeah, that's good, and I was like, yes, I scored on that one. Like, I was prepared for that question. I knew my words. Beachy, classic, and elegant. They were good words. I was proud of myself. Then number 5 for this question was, like, the biggest question that everybody will tell you about if you go and watch other videos about people's Hollister interviews, and this is the diversity question, because the company got sued for not being diverse enough. That's not good. So the question was, what is diversity? And I said that diversity is when a group has a bunch of different religions, like cultures, sexual preferences, and political opinions all in just one giant group. And he was like, oh good. So he was writing that down, and I was like, I got that one right too. Woo, if I was doing a test, I'd probably be getting like an A right now, you know. So that was nice. And then the last question that I remember, sorry that I don't remember the very last question, was, do you think diversity is important in the workplace? And if so, why? Or if not, why not? And I was like, yes, absolutely. With so many different people and so many different opinions and different ways of looking at things, if a problem comes up, you have a lot of different ideas on how to solve it. And if everybody was the same and thought the same way, then you would never be able to solve a problem. And he was like, oh, that's good. So he wrote that down, and I was like, yes, I did good on that one too. So if you're planning on applying, you know, definitely, if you want to be prepared, you can look up questions beforehand, like watching this video. Yay, it's helpful. And then you will feel a lot more relaxed because you don't have to be sitting there like, oh shit, I'm like mind blank, like I don't know what to say. So then I have a couple of sticky notes full of like tips or whatever. My big tip would definitely be to be honest with your interviewer. Like, they want to hire you for who you really are. They don't want to like have a fake conversation with you, hire you based off of that, and then find out that you're completely different. Like, that's just not a good thing. You want to be you. Like, you want to let them know, like, if you're weird, be weird. There's lots of weird people that work at my job. I'm weird, and I work at my job. So, I mean, it's cool. You don't have to be like, yo, what's up? Like, home dog. If that's not you, don't act like that. Be honest with your interviewer. Sticky note number 2. Oh, so after he asked me a bunch of questions, he was like, do you have any questions for me? And I was like, yes, actually, I do. And the reason that I like to ask questions of my interviewers after they ask me questions is because then it gives us a chance to actually have more of a conversation instead of me just talking straight at them. And it gives us a chance to kind of connect, like, they get to know me a little bit better, I get to know them a little bit better, and there is more of a personal touch to your interview, and you do make an impression on them. So basically I just asked him about what I have to wear to work if I have to wear my hair down every day. Can I wear shoes instead of flip-flops? And then I asked him how he got started working there and what he thought was the best and worst part of the job, and then we kind of just went on from there. And it was really cool, and my interviewer was really awesome, and shout out to my manager, Ryan. He will probably never watch this video, and I really hope that he doesn't because that's kind of awkward. But it was a really great interview, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to interview at Hollister, have a great interview with my manager, and then eventually get the job. And now I work with a bunch of awesome people. So, you know, it's a win-win-win all around. It's just lots and lots of winning everywhere. So, this video is pretty long now, and that's basically it. So thank you for watching. I hope it was kind of helpful to you, and don't forget to subscribe, like this, share it with your friends, comment below. I promise I will reply back to you if you comment, ask me a question, and follow me on Twitter. So I'll see you guys later. Bye!